And let's talk about tomorrow because I know that that's something you've been holding for women
Mm-hmm.
in our community for a while now. Tell me how long. Tomorrow's a full moon. Uh, Share about these powerful ceremonies that I keep hearing about.
Yeah, so I think it's been 5 years, 6 years. I think next year is going to be 7. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been holding them every month or almost every month for all this time. And it's something that is magic.
Mm.
And again, and really beautiful. And like, I want to make really normal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an intergenerational group. So we have, folks of all ages come in, and I sometimes have drum journey. I sometimes have other types of ritual, depending on what kind of comes up. Either like spirit wants to move through me, or just kind of like reading the energy with the medicine that the group needs. So there are some regular ritual aspects of it, and then we've had folks who might come pregnant, or who might come praying to have, to carry a child,
Mm-hmm.
and will come back pregnant, and will come back with the baby, and we'll do like a welcome. So we have like little ones who came to their first circle at 2 weeks old. We've had elders, come in and share their wisdom, and also kind of celebrate that transition, right? I'm still waiting to have a young one, celebrate her first moon cycle in group.
Wow.
But it's the kind of space that holds all of those things. So both in kind of like normal struggling that we go through, right, when things are hard, but also when there's like chronic health issues, hard medical diagnosis, So it's like folks are able to be held in this community of prayer, where it's like these people become attuned to each other and say yes to each other in a really
Mm-hmm.
beautiful way that is, whether or not they see each other again, they like form these bonds that are really beautiful.
That's so amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard reverberations of it for a long time, and I know it's something magical
Yeah.
is happening there. One thing I know, and I think this keeps going back. It's a theme. It's a theme
Mm-hmm.
we talked about. We talked about those gateways and some of the more challenging gateways. And I know from sharing with you and with other people that have gone that you make some room for people to work through or cleanse or whatever the right word is trauma in their lives,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I know we both come from the same community, right? Where this the trauma that comes
Mm-hmm.
with oppression is very vivid, it's very real.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share a little bit more about that part of it? Because it's such a big part of the consciousness now. People are more aware
Mm-hmm.
that we're a bunch of human beings walking around with these unhealed wounds. And
Mm-hmm.
now, how do you hold that? What happened? I mean, if there's anything that's like strictly for the women in the full moon, I understand. But what can you tell me about that part?
We call in the keepers of the gateways.
Mm-hmm.
We call in our ancestors. We call in our lineages. We call in the medicine of the earth. That is a container
Mm-hmm.
that allows folks to feel safe enough for whatever needs to come through to be held perfectly,
Mm.
right? So there is just like this understanding, like the right people that need to be there always show up. And there are some things where, you know, there's like years of facilitation here, but there's something that's like beyond me,
Mm-hmm.
right? There is something that happens when people say yes to making this space safe, say yes to making this space sacred,
Mm-hmm.
that allows the weight of what, you know, the bodies that we're born into, and all of the things that they face because of the bodies that they're born into, are able to like disarm and let whatever it is that needs to come through and be perfectly supported.
Powerful.
Yeah. I mean, and it's for self-identified women and
Right.
gender non-conforming folks, right? So this is kind of like the setting, and whoever feels comfortable, who like this speaks to, is welcome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That sounds so powerful and so necessary. And one of the things that attracts me about it is the communal part of it. I think that a lot of what's happening now around healing modalities keeps getting a little stuck in the kind of the individual story,
Yeah.
right? And I think, don't get me wrong, like I'm all about honoring, right, the individual story and the individual healing process, but the idea that this is something that we can do for each other together, and that they kind of, it's almost like your healing in this group is our healing.
Mm-hmm.
I think is something that I pay a lot of attention to,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad you're holding it in that way.